imagine having a pair of disposable underwear and having to put this, basically what's like a Subway $5 footlong, into these and then pulling it up and putting it on, and then, you know, everyone's just expecting you to go about your business for the day with a $5 footlong in your panties.
What's good, YouTube? It's your girl Ari, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my postnatal care routine. Basically, this is to make sure that you heal properly and to hopefully expedite your recovery process after natural vaginal childbirth. So some of these things I'm going to show you are things that the hospital provided, and some of these things are things that I purchased myself. So first I'll show you the stuff that the hospital provided. The first thing is disposable underwear. So these are actually very helpful so that you don't mess up your underwear, because there's a lot going on downstairs after you give birth. So disposable underwear definitely come in handy. You can buy these from like CVS, Target, whatever. They also have like, they're kind of like Depends, like adult diapers essentially. But the hospitals typically have these. You can throw them out after every use. They're super helpful and they're big, which is good because you want to have like maximum coverage. But this is what the hospital will provide you with, just a bunch of disposable underwear. The next thing that they provide, I don't actually have any more, but they're the big jumbo pads, like the diaper size pads. You can equate them to like the Always, like the overnight jumbo size pads. It's basically the same. Another thing that the hospital, at least the hospital I went to, provided me with was these witch hazel pads. So these are pre-moistened witch hazel pads. There were 40 in here. They didn't have any more after I had left the hospital, but I used this and I went through the whole thing. It's empty, but I kept the container just to show you guys what this looks like. They were basically like little cotton rounds, and they are covered in witch hazel, which is really good for healing. They do give you a bottle. This is basically to clean yourself with after you use the bathroom. Because you can't wipe. If you have stitches, you do not want to be wiping. I think most people probably get stitches, but this helps. It's not the best kind of spray bottle because you kind of have to, you know, work at an angle, but this is fine. This is what they give you to basically rinse yourself down. And the last thing I got from the hospital was this Dermoplast, which is just a spray. This is for pain, burn, and itch. It relieves pain from minor cuts and scrapes, burns, sunburns, and bug bites. Cools and comforts, soothing aloe and lanolin, provides fast pain relief. So this was the last thing that the hospital gave me. I did have my own products at home. I continued to use the hospital stuff until I was done with it. But as far as home products, they're pretty similar to the stuff the hospital provided, with the exception of like disposable underwear, because I don't have that. But I continue to use the disposable underwear from the hospital. As far as pads, instead of those big kind of diaper pads that the hospital provides, I've been using the Honey Pot Company Postpartum Herbal Infused Pads with Wings. These have mint for cooling, lavender for calming, and aloe for soothing. They have no chlorine, no pesticides, no fragrances. It's a plant-based feminine care product. That's part of the reason why I bought it too, because I just wanted something that was natural, that wasn't going to irritate me. I wanted something that had nothing added to it as far as like chemicals. So I found this. I've already gone through one batch of these, so I bought more because I still need them. So I just wanted to try them out, and they're really great. So I'm going to continue using these for as long as I need to. But this, you can also make an ice pack with this. You just basically take the pad, you wet it with water, and then you wrap it in wax paper and throw it in the freezer for like 4 hours. And then once you take it out, you can use it kind of like a pad. It's not going to stick to the thing, but it's kind of like an ice pack pad. So double use. I think you could probably do that with any pad, but this one I've tried it with and it worked really well. It was really soothing. So these are the pads I've been using since I got home. Now, similar to the hospital spray bottle, I have my own spray bottle at home. This is the FridaMom spray bottle. This is a little bit better to use because it has an angle, so you kind of like just tilt it like that and you spray and it sprays up, as opposed to this one where you kind of have to, you know, be at a different angle. So this is really convenient. This is the, it says FridaBaby, but I think it's FridaMom. Maybe it's FridaMom. Maybe it's FridaBaby. Who knows? But this spray bottle is a lot more helpful when you're trying to clean yourself. So this spray bottle I definitely recommend. It comes in a kit with some other feminine products to help with postpartum care. So I actually keep both of these in the bathroom, and I keep them both filled up. Every time I use one, I fill it right back up, so I don't have to fill it up when I'm going to the bathroom. It's just like already there, already filled. A lot of people actually add witch hazel to these. I don't have any, so I just use plain water, but definitely if you have witch hazel, feel free to add it to the water to make it a little bit even more soothing. Also, it feels best when you're using warm water, but as I mentioned, I like to have these already pre-made, so obviously the water's a little cold. I just think to myself like, well, if my daughter can withstand a cold diaper change and a cold wipe at 3 o'clock in the morning, I will live through one little dousing of cold water in the middle of the night too. So that's what I tell myself to get through it. But warm water is best, and if you have witch hazel, definitely feel free to incorporate that into the water bottles. I've also been using this FridaMom FridaMom Perennial Healing Foam. This stuff is almost gone, which is why I bought another bottle of it. But basically this cools your vagina, and you know, if you've gone past the vagina into the tush area, it will also cool that as well. This is basically 50% witch hazel astringent, helps relieve pain and swelling from hemorrhoids and childbirth. So it's specifically for that. And this is what the perennial healing foam looks like up close. And then the last thing I have as far as like you know, the stuff that goes down there actually is the FridaMom Perennial Cooling Pad Liners. Again, I went through a whole box of these, so I got another box. But this is what it looks like. So these are just basically witch hazel pad liners. It's just a sheet. It looks kind of like a baby wipe or a face wipe for makeup. It's thin though, and you basically just apply it over the pad and you're good to go. I'm gonna open this because I'm gonna need to show you guys what I was doing when I got home, like using the combination of the hospital products and my products. Yeah, so this is what the pad liners package looks like outside the box. And then the last two things that I used are not products that actually physically go on your vagina, but they are incredibly helpful. The first thing is this Postpartum Recovery tea. I told you guys in my pink Stork tea review that I was going to get this. I got it, I've used it, it's really good. It has chamomile, dandelion, ginger, strawberry, red raspberry, and oat straw. This is a strawberry passion fruit tea. This stuff tastes really good, and I think it's helped to expedite my recovery. And the last and final thing that I have been using, this is going to be your best friend, especially if you just gave birth and you're a little bit nervous about pooping. We're just going to say it, having a bowel movement. Colace. Yes. Colace. Yeah, I've been taking this every day. This helps with constipation. It helps to soften your stools so that when you have a bowel movement, it is not painful. I think that's probably one of the scariest things after childbirth is the thought of pushing and having something else come out of you and knowing that you have stitches and just being really nervous about tearing or whatever else. So this was super helpful, gave me peace of mind, and it also helped to make bowel movements a lot easier. So I definitely recommend that you get some type of stool softener in your life, work it into your routine, because you will not regret taking it. And you can also suffer from some constipation after giving birth anyway, so it is helpful to have something that's going to help out and make that process a little bit easier. So Colace was my little gem, my little nugget. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is show you guys, I'm gonna demonstrate like what I did as far as applying these products. For the sake of this, I'm not going to like actually put it in the disposable underwear because you won't really be able to see it. But just imagine having a pair of disposable underwear and having to put this, basically what's like a Subway $5 footlong into these, and then pulling it up and putting it on, and then, you know, everyone's just expecting you to go about your business for the day with a $5 footlong in your panties. So that's kind of what it felt like, but I'm going to show you guys basically what I was doing. So again, first thing you do, you use the bathroom, and you want to make sure that you're going to the bathroom every couple of hours, like consistently. You want to drink a lot of water, and you want to make sure that you are changing your stuff pretty consistently so that you don't get an infection, or you don't get, you know, you don't want it to be dirty down there. So basically you want to make sure that you're consistently using the bathroom. Every couple hours should be fine. You go to the bathroom, you clean yourself off with the water, using your spray bottle, whatever bottle you have. After you do that, depending on how far along you are with your healing, you can pat dry the area with toilet paper. The next thing you would do is take your pad. You're gonna take it off of the thing. So you have your pad. What I was doing was using the Witch Hazel cooling pads, but because I don't have any more of those, I'm actually going to use one of my FridaMom cooling pad liners. So this is what the pad liner looks like. It is kind of long, but it kind of folds like that. At least that's the way it comes out. So I just keep it folded like that so that, you know, there's more padding on the vagina and booty area. So you take this little panty liner, you place it on top of the pad like so. And you want to make sure your hands are clean when you're doing this, by the way. If you have used this as a like an ice pack pad, like I had mentioned before, you would take the dermoplast and spray it on top. This also helps to keep it cool, but because we're using one that is not cold and there's no ice pack, the hospital also gave me ice packs, but I used them all. But you'd use the dermoplast on an ice pack, or if you made your own ice pack, you would use it also. I haven't been using this since I ran out of ice packs, but you can also just apply this directly on top. Once you have your little liner on top, then you take your healing foam, and that's when you just squirt a couple pumps onto it, like so. Now imagine this with an ice pack on top of it too, because in your first couple days, you're definitely using it with an ice pack as well. So add another like ½ an inch at least as far as thickness to this, and that is what you are applying to your vagina every single day for multiple days. So this is kind of what the pad sandwich looks like. Padwich. Yeah, so that is essentially like a quick view into what I was using for postpartum care, what I'm still using for postpartum care. I don't really know how long this lasts, but I do feel like my stitches don't hurt anymore, and it's been like a week and a couple days, so that's really reassuring. Still a little nervous to actually like look at what it looks like. I don't think I'll be doing that for a while. So probably just gonna let it kind of continue to marinate, continue to heal. So hopefully you guys have found this helpful. I hope that there's something within this little hodgepodge of products that I've just showed you that you can add to your routine and your regimen to help recover faster. Again, I know it's a lot. It can be very exhausting taking care of a newborn, but you need to make sure that you take care of yourself. You know, that postpartum recovery is very important, and these products should help to expedite that process a little bit, or at least make it a little bit easier and more comfortable, because let's be honest, it's not the most comfortable thing in the world. So I think it's helped me for sure. I feel like I'm not in pain. I think my recovery is coming along nicely, and these products seem to be working. So I just wanted to share them with you guys. So hopefully you guys have found this helpful, and stay tuned. Make sure that you comment down below if there's any products that you're using that you think are helpful. Let me know. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe and turn on those post notifications so you guys are aware of when we come out with the next video. I'll see you guys soon.